you do to grow bigger, better and healthier plants using less energy that need less care in a way that's healthier for the environment and yourself? Is it even possible? Well, there's a supplier of cut flowers to the Australian market who's ticking all those boxes. Maybe you've bought their flowers. You're very likely to have seen their lilies because they're the world's best, and they were chosen to adorn the casket of the late Princess Diana at her funeral. It was watched by 2.5 billion people worldwide, so chances are you're one of them. Well, George Nicodemus is the main man in the nursery that was built by his dad. It's on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria, where temperatures can get pretty cold, but he's growing roses now in a very special way. He's using a product that's as completely natural and beautiful as the roses themselves. The product, well, it's essentially monatomic minerals extracted from seawater using a number of filtering processes, all completely natural and eco-friendly. We call it the product because it's only just being produced in any real volume, and the name may vary depending on the country you're living in. Once you see what he's achieving, I think you'll be as amazed at the results as I am, and at the potential of this product for all agriculture. There are more similar success stories using the product, but right now, let's talk to this expert about his story. G'day there, George. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Mate, how long have you been using this particular product?
Almost a year and a half, almost.
So right now we're looking at the row that you did not treat with product, is that right?
This area here, this whole line here that goes 120 metres down, we have not used any of the product on it. We've pruned them back just like we do before winter, but we didn't use the product at all. Now here that we have been using it for about the past year and a half and increased to the rest of the shed, started with this row here, you can see the difference. You can actually see the nice water shoots, all the shoots coming out. Now these are beautiful roses. By the time they're finished, they're going to be 1.5 meters tall. They're going to be towering over us. Now these are the ones that I started on first. Mind you, these ones here as well got pruned after the ones that haven't used the product. So the ones that we have used the product were pruned 1 month earlier. So they should have already been in at the same level, if not taller, to catch up. They should be these ones here should be well in advance over these ones here. The other fact as well is, these ones here, because they got sprayed with the product, we got to pick into winter. We stopped picking around August instead of where it's usually the June, March, July if you're lucky. So that's the other difference, hence why they were pruned a month later, because these ones stopped, but these ones kept on going. So we shouldn't have had any roses at that time of year.
George, is there a difference now between your roses and other growers' roses?
These ones will become about 1.5 meters tall in length. Picking wise, we'll get a good 1.2 roses, which is again phenomenal. Roses, you'll get it from 60 to 80 centimeters, and usually that's a good height. I can't wait for this season because I am going to be putting my foot in the market with beautiful roses. The other thing as well that I noticed towards the end of the season, the heads that I'm producing out of these roses are like overseas roses. No local grower in Victoria have I seen with the head size, if it is the width or the actual height of the rose compared to mine. The only ones that I've seen that I can compare to, which is a great thing, is international roses.
George, how tall do normal roses grow without that product?
The highest that you'll get in the maximum production is at that level, and that's when the heads are nice and big and fully bloomed and mature. So this is a juvenile, that's a baby. How much taller is that going to get? I think we're going to be touching our lights.
So are you saying, George, that as a result of just using this product, you expect a 25 to 30% increase in the size of plants and flowers over those we see to your left that have not had the product?
Absolutely. Easy. The evidence is there. Here's the facts. There's no questioning it. It's happening.
What's been the cost to spray product there, George? And what's the area of that shed?
Oh, well, we're talking 120 metre shed by 16 metres width. So we're talking massive square metres. I'd have to get a calculator to work that one out.
Done that, George. It's 1,920 square metres, or about half an acre in imperial measurement. So as I said, What's the cost to you so far?
Well, I've saved on spraying. I've saved on the actual heating, so no gas. So the cost is actually it's the other way around. It's what I've actually saved. It's not. It hasn't really cost me. It's actually made me money.
George, you said you'd saved on spraying, so are you using any insecticide or germicide on these roses?
We still are using an insecticide. I can't lie, but we're not using it. From being every second week in the humid conditions, every second week you would have to be spraying for roses. Roses are very delicate. They're a beautiful flower, but very delicate. Just like that, you can have your whole crop with insects, with mites, aphids. That as well, I've noticed a massive difference. At max once a month, I'll be spraying for insecticide, and instead of going chemical line down the hard chemicals like other growers have to, mine's all natural and it's eco-friendly. So I just have to do a soapy insecticide where I can go roam the shed, my friends can come in the shed, my kids can play in the shed, and no one's got any exposure to chemicals. So again, a massive improvement there.
So the product's healthy for people to the point that now you can have friends and family socialise or work in there with you. And that's very good for you and your family. But what about the plant's health? Do you think the product has actually strengthened these plants to make them more resilient to pests?
Yes, it has. The proof there that I've seen, although I would never have believed it from what I know about roses, being born in the industry, but yes, it actually has affected, it has helped.
George, this is all extremely exciting given from what we've seen how much the product is beneficial from every way you look at it. But I know you've walked into another shed that you say is even more impressive. It looks like you're there now, so that rose bush, that's a bit bigger than the other ones we've seen, but the shed's different too.
Yes, it is. As you can see, it's not as insulated. It's just plastic. We call this an igloo type of shed, where the other one's got polycarb and fiberglass, a lot more better insulation, concreted as well as the other one, where this one is just plain dirt floor. And yeah, you can see it's definitely a shed, but mate, she's beautiful.
How tall are you, George?
183 centimetres.
They're big. Does this mean you've been spraying these plants a whole lot longer than those in the other shed?
Actually, as a matter of fact, no, I haven't. I've only been spraying these ones for 6 months.
6 months?
That's it.
Well, how does this compare with what you've grown previously not using the product? And how has it affected your business, George?
Well, mate, massive game changer, this product, because these also not only are less insulated, as we said, but also got pruned now 2 months to date. Where the other ones were a month ago, as we mentioned, these ones 2 months, so a month before the other ones were pruned. And look at the difference. We're going to have the best looking roses, best quality roses with this product that we've been spraying for only 6 months.
Okay, then give us a close up.
As you can see, that's still got a couple of weeks before we pick it. Although it looks, and look at that size of that head. Yeah, that's my farm next to it. That's going to grow double the amount.
What about one ready to pick? Is that fully grown? Is it a bit bigger than usual?
Yes, as you can see. Now that's my hand next to it. And look how big that rose is. I've got a big hand. So that's ready to be picked. Monday morning we'll be picking that baby.
Well, I imagine you've made a comparison of crop production looking at before and after you started using the product, George. Mate, how much do you think you've saved and what have you gained in yield? Can you give us a ballpark figure?
You're talking, not 100, sorry, 200% now. Yes, from what we were actually doing in production, because you can see there's just shoots everywhere. Just look at it all, it's just full.
Now, these roses are definitely extraordinary, yet so is every plant that's been treated with this product. And as it could dramatically change agriculture, I'll risk repeating, it's naturally processed, monatomic mineral plant food that is friendly to humans, animals and the environment as a whole. 100% natural. So can you just tell me again, George, what precautions you take when spraying the roses? Do you need to wear gloves, mask, anything protective?
No, it's safe. One thing you don't have to wear is any mask, any gloves. You're not in fear if it goes in your mouth. It's safe to put in your mouth, and there is no spray that I've known yet, or any product that I've known yet that is safe to put straight into your mouth.
George, you've grown these roses without heat or artificial light in an open plastic covered frame. And how tall are you again?
I am 183 centimetres.
What's that in imperial?
I believe that's 6'1".
Mate, how tall is that rose bush next to you?
That's past the 7 foot. It would be 7.5. I'll look. That one there's more on your 8 foot.
And you've already said it's not what you'd normally expect.
No, not at all. Not this high. Would expect them tall, but not this tall. No way.
Thanks, George. I look forward to seeing your roses, mate, making their big entrance into the market. And I think you should prepare yourself for another call to supply those for a VIP occasion, maybe a royal wedding this time.
Thank you very much. Lovely having you.
Thanks again. Appreciate your contribution to the development of this amazing product. Well, perhaps now you can understand why I'm so enthused, and not just from witnessing George's amazing roses, but because plants and crops in other places respond in the same way to this totally natural product. So, what do you do to grow bigger, better and healthier plants using less energy that need less care in a way that's healthier for the environment and yourself? Well, now you know. And I've put a link on the screen for more information. I've also put a link to George's nursery, because he's one of the first in the country to use this product. So if you're travelling on the Mornington Peninsula and you want to see the results firsthand, call in and experience floral excellence and great hospitality at the same time. Thanks again to George, and thank you for joining us.